Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, aka Bad Bunny, perhaps one of the most controversial Super Bowl halftime shows that I can remember. And I don't remember hardly any of them. I mean, that's a lot. And we're talking about it on today's round of Beer Thursday.
That's a good topic.
Bad Bunny, Jay. There was a lot. I think there was a lot more controversy about that. I think the controversy to substance ratio was way out of whack. There was a lot more. Am I right?
Yeah. I think it was unnecessarily controversial. I think the only reason it was controversial is because certain people made it that way.
I wondered through a lot of it if there was some type of Andy Kaufman-esque, what's the word, not prank, but if it was all planned. Did someone say, hey, I've got an idea, it'll be a controversy, and in this case, controversy will mean publicity. And not only will people watch it because of the controversy, but people might do something else because of the controversy. And we could have these two things just because of this scenario we trick people into. Yeah. Now, that was just I don't know if that was the case or not. Probably not. But I always, whenever there's anything like that, I always assume that people are falling for it. They're falling for some type of, they're being fooled by something.
Well, it was one of those, as someone once described, a certain thing that a certain person did that was extremely overtly racist. Someone in defense of it described it as fake outrage. And that's kind of what this feels like. This outrage is unnecessary. First of all, the dude's American. He's from America. He's from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is an American.
It's an American territory. And I didn't get that. I was like, okay. And even if he wasn't, what is the Super Bowl for? It determines. They're the world champion. Right. Who won? Seattle won? Yeah. I didn't. They're the world champion Seattle Seahawks. And even though every single one of the teams is in the United States, they're the world champion. Yeah. So there's got to be some sort of international thing there. And I know they've played some playoff games. Yeah. And a few games internationally.
Yeah, and they're trying to grow the international brand. So they're always expanding. Next year they're going to be playing into other countries as well. So to me, they're trying to make it more universal, more open to other nations.
So why not have arguably the biggest celebrity at the time in the world? Yeah. So but also wonder, was it a little bit of, hey, here's something Trump and his followers would hate. Let's get this guy, from Spanish speaking territory to do the halftime show. And then even better, he says he's going to do the whole thing in Spanish, none of it in English. Yeah. I just wonder, is there a little bit of, regardless of what we think about the artist, a big part of why we're doing this is because it's going to piss off Trump and his fans. Yeah. And then the whole part of the boycotting it and is it Turning Point? It's Turning Point USA. Is that the name of the other thing? Yeah. The Kid Rock fiasco. Yeah. Yeah. And it's less about less about Big Bunny and more, Bad Bunny, and more about, we just want to do an anti-liberal thing. Well,
and honestly, I think it was a little bit, by having him do the halftime show, I think it was a little bit of poking the bear, so to speak, because there had been controversial before because, he decided to cancel all his shows in the U.S., right? Was it the U.S. shows, or he was canceling shows because of his stance against the whole thing with immigration and ICE and all that? And he was afraid that he was afraid that Hispanic people would come to the shows and get trapped by ICE, even if they were born and bred in the U.S. It's okay. I think there's a little bit to that. So I feel like some part of it tells me it was a little bit of poking the bear, It's like, all right, so here's a big FU, you know.
How familiar were you with Big Bunny? What I keep calling him Big Bunny, with Bad Bunny before this, I guess, the announcement that he was going to be the halftime show star?
Well, I just knew him from the Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, I loved him. Like he was one of my favorite characters. I loved him and Donald Duck.
What a Nimrod.
Yeah, and Sylvester and Tweety, of course, you know, and the Roadrunner and the Coyote. Yeah, he was.
Jay.
No, I was familiar with him because I never really listened. I don't know his music at all. I've seen some of his performance, and I think it's really good. It's not my thing, but it's good. He's a very talented individual. But what I know him from, who knows? No, what I know him from was his guest hosting on SNL, and he was really good on that, and he was in the Happy Gilmore sequel as Happy's caddy, and he kind of stole the show. He was really, really funny.
And he's been an acting guest. I don't know what they call it. He's been a musical guest and a co-host, something, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, so a couple of times.
Yeah.
I remember I had some friends who went to a concert here.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how great it was. And I'm like, Bad Bunny's his name? Okay, maybe I'll check him out. And I didn't even know that I didn't even know he performed in Spanish or did Spanish music. I had no idea at the time. And then I guess about a year and a half ago, my kid got into him, and she was, and she knows that she has always loved, what do you got? Latin music, Spanish music, that I was big fans of Elvis Crespo and Luis Miguel and Shakira.
Well, you're the one who introduced me to Shakira.
Yeah. Yeah. And I,
not personally, I mean, introduced me but
by the way, she's wanting to hang out again if you have time.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
And so I thought, okay, I like all the Carlos Vives is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Pitbull, I think Pitbull is awesome. I know a lot of people don't like him for a lot of reasons, and I get it. I get why people don't like him, but I love his music. So I thought, all right, I'm probably going to like him, so I'll check it out. And so I listened to the Un Verano Sin Ti album several times, and I could not get into it.
Really?
And my kid was so disappointed in me that I could not get into it. And
he's not my cup of tea, but I don't disregard his talent and his popularity. It's just because he's not for me doesn't mean I should have the right to say he's not for anybody.
No, yeah. I mean, and it's art, so some people are going to like it, some people are not. Like there's weirdos out there who don't love Alice in Chains. So weird.
Yeah, those weird ass mofos.
Well, I thought I've got some interesting facts, I guess, about the man, the Bunny himself. And then I thought, I'm curious to know what you thought about the halftime show.
Oh, yes. I have my opinions on that.
But after this toast, we got to toast. It's time for a toast.
Let's toast to Bugs Bunny. Bad Bunny. Sorry.
Why are we doing this to Big Bunny? Bugs Bunny.
It's kind of insulting. Bunny. We don't mean it to be insulting. It just, we're old and we don't know things.
Yeah. And Big Bunny was either senior moment or Guinness moment. I don't know which, but
it's probably a senior Guinness moment.
Yes. I had never called him Big Bunny until yes. Good times.
To the Easter Bunny. Capuchin.
To all the bunnies.
Yes, to all the bunnies.
Easter bugs, big
Playboy.
Yes. Capuchin.
To bunnies. Capuchin.
So interesting facts. So Bad Bunny comes from a childhood photo of him in a bunny costume. Mm-hmm. In case you're wondering, where does that guy get that?
Was it because he was a bad bunny, or was it because
I could see him being a cheeky lad. You know what I mean? Boys will be boys. Oops, sorry, not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
He started out uploading music to SoundCloud while working at a grocery store.
Oh wow!
I thought that was kind of cool. It's called Econo, the supermarket in Puerto Rico, where he was a bagger. Yeah, wow. And that was while he's making this music, I guess, in his room and then uploading it to SoundCloud.
Wow. Yeah.
his album that won a Grammy, Debí tirar más fotos, he didn't finish it until the day before it was released.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. He sang in the church choir until age 13. And this is one of the reasons I think my kid got into him is I should have looked up what song it is, but in one of his songs, he references Formula One and Max Verstappen. And in fact, Max Verstappen, I guess, thanked him for it or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, no. Verstappen put one of his album covers on his car's rear wing. So that's pretty cool. I think that would be be the height of you end up on an F1 car.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So those the interesting, or out of the 20 I got, the few that I thought were more interesting.
So what did you think of his halftime performance?
My take on it was, I'm not falling for this. I'm not watching the game. I'm not watching either of the shows.
Yeah.
If Creed had been in the other one, I probably would have watched Creed, but I wasn't going to switch from the James Bond movie we were watching to watch Kid Rock or any of the others.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't watch Kid Rock.
And so I thought, you know what? My kids are going to be all into it. She's going to send me the video. I'll just watch it on YouTube or whatever after. And it's probably going to suck like every other halftime show has been since they had marching bands. I mean, I'm a huge U2 fan, and I have no interest at all in going back and watching that halftime show because other than Prince, they have all sucked. Prince, to me, was the only one that was good.
You know, it's so funny you should mention that because we were just talking the other day, my wife and I, about hands down the best halftime show was Prince.
Yeah.
I don't think it could ever be topped because he sang Purple Rain and it was raining.
And he did a Foo Fighter song.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Which one did he do?
Wasn't it Hero? Didn't he do There Goes My Hero?
Oh, crap. I need to go back and watch that.
But yeah, that's what I've said for a long time is that in the age post marching bands, Prince's is the only decent Super Bowl halftime show.
Hands down,
this one I saw, and then she sent me the video and I thought, oh my gosh, this thing is 13 minutes. Maybe I'm not going to watch it. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes into it, I'm going, this is good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's probably a lot different than being there because of all the grass. I probably couldn't see anything, but from the TV perspective, this is good. And I don't remember these songs listening to that album. I like the songs. I like the production. I was a little distracted by the Mickey Mouse gloves in the first part of it, but that's okay. And and then the whole thing I thought was really good.
Well, even though I didn't know the music at all, I thought the whole thing, the fact that it was set up so quickly and
that is a lot of, I didn't think about that. That is a lot of setup.
Setup.
Wow, yeah.
Now I know the bushes were people, like at least most of them were people. So they stood when he was going through there were actually people dressed as bushes. At least, I don't know if it was all of them, but certainly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it was visually, it was stunning. It was one of the most visually stunning halftime shows I've seen.
It kind of reminded me of In the Heights a little bit because of just the music and the dancing in the street, and then the little the body, whatever you call the store that was.
Yeah. And he even did a little phone work in there. He climbed the phone pole or the electric pole.
Now, do you know the significance of that?
No.
Now, I don't know if it was the same song, but he's got a song. One of his songs is, he has a lot of songs about Puerto Rico. I want to say it I want to pronounce it correctly, but I can't. Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the songs is about, they've had a lot of infrastructure problems. So they have a lot of power outs since the hurricanes, Irma and Maria. And so that was sort of a nod to that. The performances up on the line, the power line, the telephone poles was a nod to all of their power struggles. So I thought,
wow,
that's pretty cool. That's a nice.
Well, there's something I read, and I don't know if this is true, but the couple that got married on the field, that was a real wedding. They really got married, and I'm not sure if this part of is true, but yeah, they had invited him to their wedding. He said, no, let's do this instead. Let's have you be a part of the performance.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. And I thought that was amazing. And I I really enjoyed seeing Lady Gaga out there. She sang with him for a little bit. And I haven't seen Ricky Martin in years. That was cool to see him too.
That was cool. I saw another video of him because that was he wasn't on the stage for the entire time she's there.
Yeah,
Lady Gaga, and he was off like by himself. Someone had a picture of him. He's off by himself by the little storefront and like just dancing along while she like just enjoying her performance while he was off stage. I thought that was cool. I'm sure there's bad things about him, but I did that too in my prompt. I said, just tell me the good things because, I don't want to have like a Bad Bunny fanboy show or anything, but I think there's been enough controversy to not get into that part of it.
So ChatGPT had a summary bottom line about the whole performance. And this actually, I absolutely agree with this. The controversy wasn't really about the performance so much as people missing the point. That this was a joyful, unexpected, and downright fun halftime show moment that people will be joking and talking about for years. I don't know if people will be talking about it for years. It'll be forgotten eventually.
I don't know. I thought
it was pretty damn fun.
I watched it a couple of times, and I could see myself watching it again. And I think it's a microcosm because I like big words. I think it's a microcosm of everything, of all the other controversies that we have is, they made a big deal that he said, God bless America. And then, that was the only part that was in English.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Mm-hmm. And then he mentions all of I don't know if he mentioned all of them, but he mentioned all of the countries in the Americas, the United States, Canada, and Central and South America. And I get it. Yeah. The United States is one nation within the Americas, and you could think it's like the Rush Song territories. We could all think of ourselves as Americans, Canadians, to Peruvians, to Argentinians. The Brazilians, they're going to be proud Brazilians who think that they're better than the rest of the Americas. And the Costa Ricans, the same, the Mexicans, the same, the Canadians, the same. And it's okay for the United States to do that too. Everybody does that. I don't see why we should be vilified for it, but by that same token, America is the entire continent, they didn't mention anything about the North. He didn't mention the Northwest Territories. I don't know if that was an intentional slight to Tuktoyaktuk or not.
Could have been,
but
we don't know.
But and I think that's just something where the people don't stop arguing long enough to listen to see that we have more in common than what we're arguing about.
And I like the fact that they wanted to. I thought it was funny, the fact that the Turning Point's alternative to the Bugs Bunny halftime show, Bad Bunny, I'm sorry, was headlined by Kid Rock as sort of, they look at it, the Christian right. He far from exhibits a Christian behavior.
You remember some of those lyrics of his when we were riding around screaming those lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw him I had a performance once, and I think I went with Scott. It was in Fort Worth. Opening band was Ted Nugent.
Opening for Kid Rock?
For Kid Rock. Kid Rock came out and did his show. He was fine. He was good. Everything's fine. But Ted Nugent came out and he played something. It was a soundbite of somebody. It was racist. Somebody said something they dropped the N word. And I'm like, that immediately turned me off of Ted Nugent. I haven't liked him since. And it also made me, I gave me a huge distaste for Kid Rock because of him allowing that, which told me that he didn't disagree, or at least he was going to let it go.
Yeah, I don't think you can always make those associations, but you could make your opening band. You could tell your opening band, let's not do that.
Let's not be related. Let's not be racist. I mean, the fact that he was his opening band for the tour, he's heard him. He's heard his set list.
Yeah.
He had to have heard it. He could have just said, "Hey, dude, don't do that bullshit." But that's neither here nor there. I used to like Kid Rock. I did, but I don't like him anymore. I feel like he's sort of
pandering. He's found a niche that and he's pandering in it. And
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm not a fan of pandering.
Me neither.
I'm anti-pander.
Or panhandling, really.
Now, pandas.
Yeah. I love pandas. Oh, pandering. Yeah.
Yeah, pandas I like. I tried to get some of the lyrics that people were upset by, and it was difficult because I couldn't get the Chat GPT didn't want to have any copyright violations. But there was one song where I guess he says the translation is, I have a Dominican hottie who says my dick is fire. And okay, yeah, probably shouldn't say that on TV. Probably shouldn't say that on TV. But
no, I get that.
Yeah. And there's a couple other things I could see. All right, I can see people being against that. I can see people not liking the holding his crotch and the pelvic thrust. But I know I've also, one of the reasons I stopped watching football, in addition to too many penalties and too many commercials, was a lot of those commercials were the pharmaceutical commercials. And I was shocked that they were allowed to advertise that during the football games that a lot of kids were watching. So, and I think it's hypocritical that he can't do that, but yet they can have these pharmaceutical commercials telling people that they need these drugs when they're talking about the same body parts.
Yeah. Dick falling off? Try this drug. Yeah. I mean, that's true. Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, I think that's something you and I can look past the politics at. Was the performance good? Was the music good? And in spite of all the...
And I say it was.
And it was. It absolutely was.
It absolutely was. Yeah. So take that, politics.
Yeah. You stick that right in your capuchin.
Capuchin. Speaking of capuchin, my friend here, Shayne, and our capuchin companion would like you to tune in again next week for another round. And we would also love to hear what you thought about the Bad Bunny halftime show. What did you like? Did you not like it? I'm sure, Tim, you're listening, so I'm sure that you didn't like it because you don't like anything, man. You just don't, okay?
Tim hated it.
No, but we want to hear what you have to say, dear listener. And we would love for you to be a patron for as little as $5 a month. That is half of a Starbucks. That's one half of a Starbucks. Inflation, my friend, inflation. But if we hope you wait by your listening device for 420 a.m.
gigahertz on the radio dial.
No, what time does the round drop?
4:36 a.m.
4:36 a.m. You hear that little ding. That's a reminder that your favorite Beer Thursday podcast is ready for you to listen to. Please. So we'll be here for you next Thursday. We hope you're here for us. And until then, we'll have a good time. Beer Thursday song.
It kind of sounded like you were putting a little bit of a guilt trip on him.
I feel like I did. I want to apologize to all our fan.
Boy, don't do that. It might work.
Oh, really? That's a good point.
Yeah.